Hi, my name is Megan Krieger, and I'm going to be talking to you about artist manager Irving Azoff. Azoff was born in 1947 and raised in Danville, Illinois, where he attended and graduated from Danville High School. While also in Illinois, he attended the University of Illinois in Champaign, where it is said that he began booking and promoting artists. And though he began small in college, he has built himself a large and extensive professional background in the music industry. Starting off with promoting and booking, he has been an agent, a personal manager, concert promoter, record label owner of multiple different records, including Giant Records. He's been a merchandiser, a music publisher, a record label CEO. He worked at Live Nation. He's been a movie producer for movies including Jack Frost and Urban Cowboy. I mean, he has just this large, extensive list of things that he has done in the industry that have created and turned him into the industry leader that he is today. Azoff has definitely built a name for himself in this industry. He's been at the top. He's been in the Billboard 100 of Power for many years and many months. I know back in January of 2018, he was in the number 4 spot of the Billboard Top 100 of Power. He is definitely one of the leading people in the music industry and not a force to be reckoned with. However, despite all of these wonderful things that Azoff has been a part of, being a manager has always been his number one. He started off booking and promoting in college and moved into management while he was there. He met his first artist, Dan Fogelberg, while he was in college at the University of Illinois and took that leap of faith moving to LA in 1970 with this artist to be his manager and help him really reach his goals as an artist. Like I said, there are many things that Azoff is famous for, but the number one is his management skills. He's always been a very top name artist manager, and any artist is just about lucky to work with him from the very beginning to where he's at now. And since that first artist, his roster has just began to grow and grow and grow, having some of the biggest names in many different genres of the industry. His number one obviously being the Eagles. He's been working with the Eagles since the 1970s. He's still with them today as they are now. He has been with Gwen Stefani, Christina Aguilera, Bon Jovi, Van Halen. Most recently, he signed on Travis Scott. And the list just continues to go on and on and on. I mean, the Eagles he began with in 1974. And Gwen Stefani, he signed with her after she had been fiddling around with multiple different managers, finally signing with him in 2014. Travis Scott, he signed with his co-owned company with Madison Square Garden. Christina Aguilera signed in 2000. It's just a very large number of artists that he's worked with. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, he continues to grow and grow, and he has since the beginning of his time in the music industry. He is currently co-owning the Full Stop Management Company with his son, Jeffrey Azoff, where they have artists like Harry Styles, Mark Ronson, Meghan Trainor, John Mayer, and he's just continues to be this big, powerful man in the industry, bringing in his kids into the industry and everything. He's definitely a man of many talents and hardworking constantly. Here's just a few more that he likes to work with, or that he has worked with, or is still working with, including Godsmack, Seal, Smashing Pumpkins, Steely Dan, Neil Diamond. Again, it's nonstop and super long. He is a very notable man in the industry. And with that also comes a very extensive and large reputation. There is a reason that Azoff is where he is today. Being known as the Poison Dwarf, Azoff is very aggressive as a manager and hits very head on. He's been this way since the beginning, doing what is needed to get what his artists need. He's a fiery little man that is not afraid to throw things and scream in order to get his artist's way. He likes to consider himself the CEO of his artists' businesses and lives. He's very extensive and very head-on. He tries to be a part of everything that his artists are doing, and he wants to make sure that they are constantly successful and happy. Considering he has managed for so many different artists, there are a lot of good things that he's done for them and himself. I mean, I could go on and on, but some of the biggest examples were when he helped reunite members of Van Halen for a small reboot. This was huge for the band. It brought back a lot of older fans and longtime fans that just continued to support them and be a part of them. He did a small he attempted to do a small reboot for the Eagles after the death of Glenn Frey. He pushed very well for Frey's son to do a small reboot tour with them. And then he also has been doing a lot of great things for himself. Very recently, he bought out Madison Square Garden's half of their co-owned company, Azoff Madison Square Garden Entertainment, now making it Azoff Music Management. And this gives him full control over the company and the artists that are signed to it. This will bring him so much more money and so much more success. So as an industry leader, obviously you can see that he makes great decisions not only for the artist but for himself, and continues to push his success alongside with his artist's success. It's really hard to find bad decisions that he's made. Like I said, he does a lot of really good things for his artists. He does have a fiery little temper though, so that can cause him to build up a little bit of a bad reputation here and there. He lashed out at YouTube at one point for having music on there that shouldn't be on there and not cracking down on copyrights. He had Nicki Minaj blow up on him recently for quote-unquote smearing her tour, and then finally during the time that he tried to reboot the Eagles tour with Frey's son, Henry strongly refused and was kind of offended by it, saying that you really shouldn't reboot a tour for a band without the guy who started the band. So I see where this can come back a little bit harsh, and not give him the best reputation here and there. But it is hard to find a lot of bad decisions that he's made for himself or for his artists, because he tries so hard to make sure that everybody else comes out on top as well. And some things that I've learned since I started studying him and working on this assignment is that you have to take things kind of head on in this industry. Azoff is not a shy person and seems to take all of his businesses in full with no hesitation. He also believes in his artists 100%, which I think is not only an admirable characteristic, but also works in his favor. I would hope that all managers believe in their artists and want nothing but the best for them. I'd also like to say that I learned it's good to be diverse in the industry from him. He's had many different positions in this industry that have built him up as a manager, and holding those different positions have continued to just give him experience and make him the industry leader that he is today. Finally, applying all of these things that I have learned from him to the artist that our group is working on, who is right here on the side, Mr. Tony Taylor, the artist, we definitely want to take on that head-on approach and being very upfront with everybody that we speak to about our artist. And we always want to support our artist. We want to believe in him 100%, and we do. We definitely believe in him. He's very talented. He has a lot of experience not only in the music industry, but in the entertainment industry as a whole, being that he was a football player before that. And there's just so much that we personally know that he can do. And I think that taking on that head-on approach and supporting him and not taking no for an answer, just like Irving Azoff, will help us make our artists successful, which is definitely what we want to do.